Navigating through this situation feels like walking through a storm. Just last week, my world was turned upside down when I stumbled upon the painful truth. My girlfriend, the person I trusted and loved deeply, had been having an affair with her married boss. 5 years together, planning a future filled with dreams of a home and marriage, all seemed to crumble in an instant. The unraveling began innocently enough, with a frantic search for my misplaced phone one morning. When I asked her to call it, her refusal raised suspicions that gnawed at the edges of my mind. Desperate for answers, I succumbed to the temptation to pry into her conversations. What I discovered was a betrayal that cut deep: clandestine meetings, late-night rendezvous masquerading as business excursions, all orchestrated to conceal the affair with her boss. In retrospect, her inexplicable bouts of sadness over the past months now make painful sense. She'd brushed them off, attributing them to the illness of a friend's mother, but now I see the truth buried beneath her lies. It's a bitter pill to swallow, realizing that the person I cherished was leading a double life, seeking solace in the arms of another while professing love and commitment to me. As if the emotional turmoil weren't enough, the financial strain adds another layer of complexity. Saving diligently for a down payment on a house was our shared goal, but the pandemic's arrival forced a harsh reality check: a significant drop in income due to reduced work hours. Despite the setback, I soldiered on, determined to find opportunities to secure our future. Recently, two promising job prospects emerged, each offering a glimmer of hope amidst the chaos. One offers a substantial salary hike in our current region, while the other promises even greater financial stability on the West Coast, with the added allure of being associated with a prestigious company in my industry. The thought of a fresh start, away from the haunting memories of betrayal, beckons with a tantalizing promise of renewal. Yet, amidst the turmoil, her presence lingers, a constant reminder of the life we once envisioned together. Despite the affair, she speaks of marriage and a future intertwined with mine, her words tinged with fear of losing me should the truth come to light. It's a twisted dance of deceit and longing, leaving me torn between confronting her and fleeing from the pain that threatens to consume me. In the midst of it all, her interactions with her boss oscillate between moments of regret and declarations of enduring love. The lockdown may have put a temporary halt to their trysts, but their connection persists, seeping into every facet of our fragile relationship. It's a betrayal that cuts to the core, leaving scars that may never fully heal. Yet, despite the anguish, a flicker of uncertainty lingers. Should I confront her before making any decisions about our future? It's a question that haunts my every waking moment, a battle between the desire for closure and the fear of what lies ahead. In this maelstrom of emotions, clarity remains elusive, leaving me adrift in a sea of uncertainty. Last Friday, something happened that shook me to my core. I found out about a situation, and this weekend, I plan to meet up to talk about it. My girlfriend also mentioned that she'd be helping a friend who's returning to her home country. After reading everything, I couldn't bring myself to move from the sofa for an hour. It felt like my body weighed a ton. I couldn't shake off the thought of them being together and possibly mocking me behind my back. The whole week felt like a nightmare. Seeing her so excited about the weekend only made things worse. While she's away, I've decided to pack everything up and prepare to go back to my family's home in the countryside. I haven't talked to anyone in a long time, especially not my family. Keeping everything bottled up inside is starting to feel unbearable. That's why I'm writing this. I feel like I'm going crazy. If the job offer on the West Coast comes through, I plan to take it. It won't be nearby, so leaving won't be a huge concern. I don't intend to leave anything behind, not a note, not a text, not even a photograph. As soon as I hit the highway, I'll put an end to this. I've spent most of the week sorting out my finances and dealing with my landlord, and now I'm done. What I really need to know is whether I'm making the right choice by talking to her about all of this. April and May were great months for us, but now I can't trust her anymore. It's been hard to even look at her face these past 2 days. I just want this to be over. She had dreams of a life with me, and I'm sorry our relationship couldn't fulfill that for her. Now, let me share another story with you. For the past 2.5 years, I've been struggling with a one-night stand. I've been trying to work through it, but I really need advice. Please give me your best guidance. I need kind assistance. We had big plans to travel the world together for 6 months, exploring different places. But circumstances forced us to come back home and live together sooner than we expected. Looking back, it was too rushed. We used to get along so well and hardly ever argued. We had fun together, shared similar values, and talked about our future without any issues. After a year, he started working full-time and stopped putting effort into our relationship. I noticed, but didn't understand why things were changing. Even though I consider myself emotionally aware, he didn't seem to realize that something was wrong with me. About 2.5 months ago, he went out to the clubs when they reopened after being closed for a while. That night, I was worried about him getting too drunk, so I asked him to come home by 4 a.m. When he didn't return, I called him around 8 a.m. He said he was still at his friend's place, but would be coming home soon. However, when he did come back, I felt something was off. I called his friend, who told me my partner had left hours before. The next morning, I confronted him, and he admitted he met another woman and went to her place. He claimed they only kissed and didn't have sex because she was too drunk. But later, he confessed that they did have sex without using protection. He said he didn't know who she was at the time, but found out later and talked to her on the phone while I was away. His lies shattered our trust. I felt betrayed and hurt by his actions. It's a sensitive issue for me because I have a history of certain health concerns. A few days later, he admitted to lying about the situation and the extent of his involvement with the other woman. He broke our trust, and I'm struggling to come to terms with everything that's happened. He says there's nothing more to say about it. He lied because he was scared of losing me, but he still wants to spend time together. The problem is, he's just not that into our relationship. He struggles with commitment and wanted to be free from it all. It seems like he didn't think things through at all. He's never really put effort into our relationship, and his ideas about what a partnership should be like are all wrong. On my end, I'm not good at setting boundaries, but I'm trying to get better at it. Plus, he has a much lower sex drive than I do, which has caused problems between us. But I can't help but wonder if it's just me he's not interested in right now. We're trying to work through our issues, and he's putting in effort, which I appreciate. But it's exhausting for me to be the one always working on our relationship. If we can find a solution and he's willing to change, I want to stay with him. Plus, I don't have the time or energy to move homes or deal with other big changes. Before COVID-19, we had a good connection, but now things feel dull because we can't do much. It's hard to understand how someone who claims to love you could treat you so badly. I'm struggling to trust him again. Should I give him another chance? How can I stop myself from becoming paranoid about him being with another woman? Is there any hope for things to get better, or am I just setting myself up for more hurt? It's tough because he doesn't seem to care about how I feel. Do you have any advice on what I should do next?